Rose Ceremony, a game published by Blue Orange. I just received it in the mail. It is a game for 3 to 6 players. So in these days of social distancing where you should not have game night, 3 minimum players is not ideal because you cannot play just with your spouse. You need to add other family members. And that's how I played it in my house. It's a very light game, very simple. If I were to play it a game night, it'd be just a filler or a warm-up game. And I played it with my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old, and that's when we played it with 3 players, but that tells you that a 7-year-old can play it. Then we also played it with Mom. We convinced her, so we were able to play with 4 players, and those are the only numbers of players that I tried the game at. The game is extremely simple. My wife also said that it's based on a TV show or some other kind of thing, like a show of some sort. I'm not a big TV fan unless it's Supernatural or Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Murder, She Wrote. I don't really know a thing about TV. Now, the game is super simple. Each player receives a hand of 4 cards, and each card has 2 pieces of information on it. A red number on top, which is the number of rose points that the card is worth it, and a number at the bottom, which is the number of thorn points that the card is worth. Each player has a hand of 4 cards, and when it's your turn, you take a card, you put it face down, and you offer it to another player asking, "Hey, would you accept my rose?" or something like that. They can accept it or refuse it. If they accept it, the card is flipped face up and put in front of themselves, possibly. Well, then it will go next to other cards that they may already have in front of themselves. Otherwise, if the card was not accepted, then it's flipped face up and put in front of the player that offered it. And again, it may go next to cards belonging to other cards that the player may already have. Once you made your offer, either way you draw a card, so you go back to a hand of 4, and the next player goes, offers a rose, which may be accepted or refused, and you continue like this. When a player receives a rose, if they have 5 thorns or more, the bouquet is spoiled and is discarded, and there's no further effect other than the player has lost those. Otherwise, if you do not have 5 or more, you can trade cards for points. At the end of your turn, after you offered a rose, regardless of what happened, if you did not go bust, if you did not spoil your bouquet, then you can trade cards for points. And here in the back of the rule book, we have an explanation of the number of points that you get. For example, with 7 rose points, and I didn't spoil it, I would get 2 points. And here you have these really pretty adorable heart tokens that you use to keep score, to keep track of that. Glossy and thick, just like you want heart tokens to be. You win the game if you're ever able to trade 10 or more rose points from your personal bouquet. Hard to pull off, but not impossible, because when you start getting close to 9, people will start offering things and you just don't know, and you're likely to go bust. Or otherwise, you keep going until a player has collected 5 hearts and the player wins the game. Very simple game. Very simple game, but I have to tell you, quite pleasant, fun to play. It's one of those games that it's all about, well, add humans, which is true, of course, for any tabletop games, but there are games where the mechanics are a lot stronger. Here it's all about the kind of human interactions that the game will encourage and will generate. And that's where the fun is. Insane mom trying to trick the kids and the kids trying to trick mom, trying to trick me. It's entirely a bluffing game. There is virtually no element of deduction because you just don't have enough information. You can count cards a little, but in truth it's all about are they trying to trick me or not? Then that's part of the fun, because when you get close to like a really good number and somebody offers you a card, which one is it gonna be? I'd love to take it to get even a bigger number, but chances are it's a stinker, and so they're giving it to me because they want me to go bust. So I say no, but it was a good card that was offered to me, hoping that I would refuse it. And that's pretty much the linchpin, the simple idea around which the entire design revolves, which is just enough. For sometimes a game, a light game, all it needs is one good idea, and this happens to be one of those games. I also like the fact that the game really has some tension, because getting to a point where you're gonna score 5, 6 rose points is really not hard. And then you're a player which has 3 hearts, and you don't want them to get those remaining ones. But remember, getting 2 or 3 hearts is not that hard. So you're preventing a player from doing it twice. What I'm trying to say is that once the game starts, almost immediately, not almost immediately, but early on, you have somebody that looks like they're almost going to win. And then the other players have to address that, and that is where the tension comes. Some games may be totally anticlimactic because you have a player that gets 10 rose points in 5 minutes, and that's okay. Shuffle the deck, play again. It's not like you waste a lot of time. It's a simple game, but it's also quite addictive, precisely because it's quick, it moves fast, and it doesn't take long to play. It has that, why just one more time? Let me give another chance. I want to win again. I won so easily. Or I want a rematch. Players are likely to, play one game after the other once they start playing. At least that's what happened in my family. We all liked it very much. After playing it the following day, people were still talking about it. Oh, Luisa, would you accept my rose? No, because you made me lose. This kind of fun, fun, loving, caring family interactions. Actually, I was surprised that we did not have any rage quits, so that's also nice. I don't know if it says that my daughters are becoming more mature, or the game, while having a little bit of a backstabbing element, does not create that kind of negative, toxic tension. In general, it's a fun game. My family and I really enjoyed it. If you have kids, then this could be a game that you can consider for these difficult days of social distancing. Not a play with your spouse game, but other than that, fun game. If you like whatever TV show this is based on, that could be an extra reason for me to be interested. My wife immediately texted, "Oh my gosh, Heather, look about this. Look, it's based on that thing that you like. Oh my gosh." So there's that. Rose ceremony. It's fun.